So, if your husband is a real, true narcissist, he will never be cured. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So, my wife had left me a few years ago and called me a narcissist and whatnot. I told her I would go get help. I told her I would go get therapy. And she took me back before I went to therapy, and it took me 6-7 months to go. Typically, in situations like this, that person, if you allow them back into your household, if you get back with them, they won't go. Or they will just be going to put on a performance piece for you. This kind of goes along the lines of like a person saying, I'll do whatever it takes to get you back. Whatever it takes. Let me know I'll do whatever. That means that they will do whatever it takes for you, not for themselves, which matters. Because if they do it for you, they will resent you for making them go to therapy. There is no cure for narcissistic personality disorder. By him trying to establish that kind of ultimatum right there, he's trying to switch the power dynamic back into his hands and not into yours. Stay strong, keep that boundary. I really, really hope this. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am self-aware, diagnosed narcissist Lee Hammock, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and to also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. This series is dedicated to making my TikToks and my YouTube shorts longer. They are 60 seconds or less, and you know I go into detail on these. I light it on fire with these. Get ready, because this one's gonna be a good one. So the TikTok you just watched was me responding to a young lady, older lady. I don't know how old she. I don't know her. Where she commented, if you couldn't read the text on her video, it said, "My narcissistic husband says he will get help." Sorry, y'all. Goodness gracious, y'all know I'm getting over COVID, y'all. So I'm outside too. So my narcissistic husband says he will go get help after I take him back, because if he gets help first, I'll move on before he is cured. He has had 10 years to get said help and is devastated. I will not cave. He's devastated that I will not cave because he said that before he gets cured, I'm going to move on. So the hell what? I know it's easy. It's easy for me to say that right there, y'all. But 10 years? 10 years. You had 10 years to get your act together. That's why it's like, this right here is a clear example. Like I stated in my response to that, this is a clear example of a narcissist or a toxic person trying to make you feel guilty or pity them and or show you that they have ownership and give you an ultimatum. Because look at that right there. My narcissistic husband says he will go get help after I take him back. So she left this person. She left her narcissistic, toxic ex or whatever. We know everybody's not a narcissist. She's not diagnosing him. She's describing the pattern of behaviors that she's experienced over 10 years. So if you just like, everybody, Lee, hold up. Everybody not a narcissist. Only 2%, blah, blah, blah. Shut the hell up. We know everybody's not a narcissist. Shut up. Goddamn. I'd be killing that. Like, goodness gracious, like, everybody not a narcissist. So, I'm clinically diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. Y'all be blowing my mind trying to tell me what I think. Like, shut up. But yeah, my narcissistic husband said he will go get help after I take him back. After. You see, she left him, right? Now, he's trying to make demands. I will only get help if you take me back. Who's in control right there? See, narcissistic people hate when other people have control over situations. Narcissistic people hate when the power dynamic switches from us having the power to you having the power, to our bosses having the power, to our kids or our family members having the power. We hate that with a raw, seething hatred. We absolutely 100% hate that, and that's the unequivocal truth right there, because we hate it. So he's trying to slide in a power. He's trying to slide in and switch the power dynamic into his court. Because if you take this, I'm going to tell you this straight up right now. If you take a person back on the promise of change, they're not going to change. They're not going to go to therapy. They're not going to go get help. Because when you take them back before they make any kind of measurable changes, guess what that means? Guess what that means? That means you're taking them back as is. Hey, you took me back before I went to therapy, so you must already love me. You must be okay with who I am already. So why'd you take me back if you didn't love me? I'll go to therapy when I get a chance to. You set my appointments. You find me a therapist. You set the schedule, and I'll let you know if it works for me. You keep taking people back without any kind of consistent change behaviors, then that's what you're going to get. What you're going to get, and what you're going to get is more of the same. That person's not going to change. Why would he change? Why would he change if you take him back before he goes to therapy, before she decides to go get help? Why? Before they decide to go get help? Why would they go to? Why?
You already took me back. I'm already back in the door now. Why would I go get help? So even in my own personal story, my wife came back before I went to therapy. Kept asking me to go for 6 months. Kept asking me to go. She came back in March of 2017. I didn't go to therapy. Y'all see my story. I didn't go to therapy until October 2017. Because she was threatening to leave again. I was like, damn, let me go ahead and do this thing. I was in my self-aware narcissist groups. I finally signed up for therapy, and I went in there and got honest. And so many people ask me why I stay in therapy. Why did I stay in therapy? Why did therapy work for me? Because I told you I read a lot of books. I've been doing personal development on myself for over a decade before I stepped into a therapist's office, right? So that's why my mind works a little bit different than a lot of narcissistic people, because I've already been working on myself before therapy. So I've already been working on myself before therapy. And I was reading a book. I cannot think of what book it was, y'all. I cannot think about what book it was, but I was reading a book, and they came up with a poem by Haruki Murakami, right? Haruki Murakami wrote a poem about the storm. About the storm. And I heard it. You know what I mean? I heard the poem, right? I was like, damn, that's a good poem about the storm being over and stuff like that. So I was like, I stopped the book. I listen to a lot of audiobooks on Audible. So I stopped the book, right? I went and looked up the screenshot of that poem, and I put it as my screensaver. It's about the storm. It's about a storm, and it described me perfectly. The poem goes like this. And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure, in fact, whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. And that's what the storm is all about. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that poem right there, I was like, that described me to a T. So I screenshot that, put it as my screensaver. In my very first therapy appointment, I was sitting in the therapist's office, and that poem was in a frame in the therapist's office on the wall. So I was like, I'm supposed to be here. This is God guiding me. So that's why I've been in therapy. Because God guided me to therapy. So I was going to stay in therapy. That's part of the reason why I stayed in there. Because if a narcissist goes to therapy, this does not mean with a 100% certainty that they're going to get better. Some people use therapy as a tool to get worse. They can just say, hey, look, I went to therapy. They said you were the problem. They actually said I'm perfect. They never ever had a therapy client. They never had a patient as good as me, as strong mentally as me. They asked me why I was doing it. I told them, you told me to come. And they said, you were actually the problem. So you need to go to therapy. Or if they say, let's go to marriage counseling, and they go in there and attack you, they turn into an attack dog in marriage counseling. That's why I'm just telling you, y'all, I understand the fact that y'all wanted to work so badly. You wanted to work so badly. But how many chances do people get? Would that person give you the same amount of chances? Because y'all be lending out branches on trees that people wouldn't lend out to you. Y'all be saving people that wouldn't save you. You be lending helping hands to people that wouldn't lend the same helping hand to you. Y'all be forgiving people for cheating 10, 15 times. One time you go out there and you like somebody else's Facebook post, you getting screamed at. But y'all forget them for clapping somebody else's cheeks. Or getting their cheeks clapped by somebody else. Y'all be too forgiving. I'm just telling you. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And what you allow is what will continue. That's point blank, period. End of story. Whatever you allow is whatever you decide to allow is what will continue. And that's the end of the story right there, y'all. Because if you allow them to come back without any kind of therapy, without any kind of measurable change, without any kind of, you don't feel better about the situation, then guess what? You allowed it, it's going to continue. Nothing has changed, so nothing will change. This is gonna get more of the same. Will they love bomb you a little bit and promise to change, and y'all go clap some cheeks and have some fun or whatever? Y'all go do that, and then it's gonna be more of the same. It's like literally, y'all. I hear the same story hundreds of times, hundreds. They did this. I let them come back. They were good for a little while, and they went back to acting the same. It's always the same thing without any kind of consistent change behavior. There's no accountability. And you cannot hold somebody accountable if you don't have any leverage on them. What is leverage? What is leverage, you may say? Leverage is what you use to hold people accountable. If your kid acts up and they like playing video games, if they act up, you have the leverage to hold them accountable by taking the video game away from them. What leverage do you have against your husband or your wife or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, your son, your sisters? What leverage do you have against them? Sometimes the only leverage you have against people in that situation is your own personal being. So your leverage is removing yourself from the situation. Oh, I'm going to hold you accountable by leaving your ass. You want to be here? Peace. I'm out. That's how you hold people accountable. But if you leave, you have to stay gone until sometimes you gotta stay gone for good, but until there's any kind of discernible, measurable change. I promise to go to therapy if you come back. That's not measurable change. That's an ultimatum masked as a promise to change. That's what that is right there. They're not promising to change. I promise to change if you bring your ass home. Only if. If and no buts. Don't let them take the power of you. Don't let them take your leverage. Because that's literally what happened. She used herself as leverage. She left to hold him accountable. And he said that he tried to switch the power dynamic back by taking the leverage away. I'll come back. If I'll go to therapy if you let me come back. If you come back, if I can come back first. That's removing her leverage from the situation. Because now he's back in the house. You have no more leverage now. So, he's devastated. He's devastated that I won't cave. And if he's a real narcissist, or if she's a real narcissist, or if they are a real narcissist, they won't change anyway. There's no cure for that. I keep telling people there's no damn cure, but no, to each their own, y'all. Anyways, y'all, stay safe, take back your power, stand in your truth. You got this. If I can fight narcissistic personality disorder on a daily basis, you can fight self-love. Go get it. Peace and blessings. Like and subscribe for more. Mental Illness is out. Peace.